The Mitre 10 Cup is almost upon us, and yes, this is our 10th province that we've got round to chatting to the head coaches in our build-up for this wonderful tournament. It's our favourite tournament here on New Zealand Sport Radio, and we'll be getting round to as many games as we can. And I'm happy to say I've got Andrew Strawbridge from Waikato Rugby. How are you doing, sir?
Good, thank you. Yourself?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Nice sunny day today.
Not where I am.
How important has the club competition been for you in putting together your Mitre 10 Cup kind of a squad, obviously with this shortened season that we've had this year?
It's been pretty significant. Our club competition's been pretty hearty this year, so it culminated in a club final the other day, which was very willing, very competitive. And it's given, the nature of the beast these days is you sort of have your squad sorted quite early in the year, except for a couple of positions, and the club competition and the level of intensity and intent has allowed a couple of people to come through and secure last couple of contracts.
But even so, you've named a squad which I've not counted, but it'd be about 36 odd players. One of the other coaches mentioned that they got through 50 players last year.
I didn't hear what you said, sorry.
Oh, sorry. There's about 36 or so players in your squad, but one of the coaches mentioned that he got through 50 players during the Mitre 10 Cup season last year. So even the players that haven't been selected in that squad that are playing club rugby, there's still an opportunity that some of them might come in as injury cover.
Oh, of course there is, yes. And we had our budget trimmed significantly pre-COVID lockdown, just pre-COVID lockdown, in anticipation of that happening. We had our budget trimmed, so probably half a dozen contracts I would normally have been able to give, we haven't been able to. So it's made competition for training spots pretty significant, and I think the way guys have operated in club rugby has indicated a desperate for opportunities, because unfortunately we haven't been able to give as many full contracts this year as last year.
But looking at the table there, look, no team went through unbeaten. Looks like Morrinsville had a bit of a tough, and Mitre perhaps had a bit tough, but for the rest of it, yeah, a really, really competitive shortened season for you, which obviously means that you've had some good selection or good trial matches kind of thing to look at players on. Looking at that squad then, and in that squad you've got someone from every single club apart from Mitre. So clearly you have been getting round them all. Any new players we've not seen at Mitre 10 Cup before that we should perhaps keep an eye out for, that the fans should look for?
Well, there's last year we were sort of looking to reset as a high performance program, and we went after a number of young men, and we were looking to rebuild with good character, and so there's a lot of men. Last year in our first game against Canterbury, we played with 4 18-year-olds and 4 19-year-olds. Those guys are a year older, so they're still unknown, relative unknowns, and there's a couple of guys who've come back from different places. Xavier Rose, an example of that, who's been going really well in the environment. So, I don't want to put any pressure of expectation on our young 18 or 19-year-olds. So there'll be an opportunity, and we are a young squad. There's a couple of experienced men who've come back, Liam Messam and Adam Thompson and Patrick, who are at the other end of the spectrum, sort of very experienced players who've got a lot to contribute, as much off as on the field. Otherwise, we're a pretty young cohort, and so it's up to them. We'd have a dozen guys 20 or younger.
And some of those young guys may also players like Quinta Paya coming back, and I think Bailey and Sullivan coming back from their first season of Super Rugby as well. So some of those young guys also have had some Super Rugby experience. So yes, as you say, 1 year on, a more experienced squad, and looking at building.
No, well, that's right. And you know, a couple of the young guys from last year, Ollie Norris and Simon Parker and Rivers Rehana, who were 19 and 18 respectively last year, you know, have now got Super Rugby futures. They've been contracted for 221, and very, very young men who've created an opportunity for themselves based on what they did as teenagers last year.
And I guess with the under-20s being cancelled, that meant they were available to be at Super Rugby and be in that environment as well. Because previously you were expected to go to one or the other, but obviously with COVID cancelling that, that obviously will have given them experience around those players as well, which is good.
That's right.
With the season being later in the year, I expect it's going to be sunnier, drier, harder tracks. Are you expecting the style of play to change because we're later in the year with better weather?
Oh, no, I not necessarily. I think the World Cup was a bit of a wake up call for New Zealand rugby. I think we saw it through a lot of the Super Rugby trends that, you know, field position and kicking have taken on a little bit more significance. That trends come and go, and I think as a country we saw England and the South Africans in particular succeed with a territory power game, and that sort of filtered in a little bit to Super Rugby. So I think it's more about that mindset than what the weather's going to be like. But it wouldn't be good to see the ball thrown around with very little greasy, you know, only a few greasy conditions.
Yeah, there will be that. Another one of the coaches mentioned that it means you're going to get quality training in as well, because you're not going to have as many wet training days, and so that the quality of training for the players will also be improved. So that should show on the park at the weekend as well.
Oh, I hope so.
So looking at Waikato, I mean, last season you had a great start with wins over Canterbury, the draw with Auckland, and then perhaps it struggled it towards the end of the season. What does success look like this year for Waikato? Is it result based? Is it about processes building or community engagement? What is success look like for you guys?
Oh, we want to be successful in terms of results. You know, we are highly motivated in that regard. But any good HP system really wants to see indications through the process, toughness, ability to stay in the game, resilient. So those things are as significant for us as anything else, particularly with the young cohorts. So if we can improve some of those aspects, grow some of those aspects, and keep fronting up, that'll will go a long way to getting what we want. So for me and Ross and Reese and Mark, the other coaches, we're as much about the process as anything else.
Right.
Basic parenting principles.
And with we mentioned Liam Messon, Patrick Osborne, people like that coming back. It's going to be a tough season, isn't it? Up there in that Premiership. I mean, we've seen some very obviously even Kieran Reid come back and play for counties in the Championship. So yeah, it's going to be a tough season to get as well for that piece. On Monday mornings, apart from the scoreboard, what's the first stat that you look at from that your performance analyst has produced for you?
I tend to look at pictures first and foremost, and look for trends and patterns. For me, the stats reinforce the pictures you've seen. There's all sorts of things. I mean, I don't have a particular stat. You know, getting back into the game after you've lost your feet, that's really, really significant. And I mean, it indicates a hard-working team. The quality of ruck ball and can be an indicator of your competency around that, but also what your leadership's been like on the field, particularly from your nines, around ensuring that ball is of good quality. So it can indicate a couple of things. It can indicate some average or poor behaviours, but also it can indicate that there hasn't been enough leadership in that area. So, you know, a number of stats. I don't have.
No, but it's interesting. You've mentioned two stats there that we don't get to see as fans produced by Sky or by ESPN online. There you talk, getting back to your feet is an effort stat, and then you talked about a behavioural / technique stat around the quality of ruck ball as well. So 2 interesting stats. Yeah, you're looking both at the technique side and also the sort of effort,
the mindset
side as well. Whereas the mindset piece, which is interesting to see how different coaches see whether they're more technique or behavioural is kind of just gives us a little bit of an idea as to how the coaching staff are working. Thank you very much for that. You're kicking off this Saturday. I hope to be able to get in there hopefully with COVID protocols and do post-match reactions. So thank you very much for your time today. Good luck with the season. We'll be getting down to as many games as we can. Thank you everybody for watching. Do please like our Facebook page. So this is our 10th interview with head and assistant coaches from around the provinces. So do check those out. Also, we'll be getting to, I'd say, 7 Farah Palmer Cup and Mitre Cup games this weekend alone. So do, like the Facebook page to get all those post-match interviews and reactions. So thank you very much for watching. And Andrew, thank you very much for your time. Good luck with the season.
Thank you very much, Paul.